getting these people to do an activity, all right, that generates business for you, makes you money in your pocket, okay? And then the beautiful part about this is you don't have to spend money on that person to spend time with your team. Now, let's say that I have field trainers, right? And I have a bunch of field trainers. If I don't have some type of field training separation, I don't know if you guys have like a junior trainer or a senior trainer. You guys do something like that? And I'm not asking about TGA, what they do, because there's a lot of different hierarchies and MDs that run different businesses. I'm asking about your business. How many of you guys have some kind of junior trainer, senior trainer standard in your base shop? Yes? Do you? You do? What do I have to do to be a junior trainer?
At least have closed 20,000 points in the last 90 months.
Okay, last 90 days. So every 90 days, if I close 20,000 points, I become a...
Like a replacement for the actual CFP. We go with the CFPs first, and then if we still need somebody, we go with the highest producers and recruiters.
Okay, got it. So you have all your CFTs, and then from there, your matchup system. But do I have something where I can run to become a senior trainer in your base shop, or no?
Just numbers. Recruiting.
Just numbers.
PC in the last 90 days or 20,000.
Okay, so we did something with Patrick a long time ago where if you did like 10 apps, 10,000 points, you were considered a junior trainer. You got a nice like Nike trainer shirt, and it said junior trainer. If you did 20 apps, 20,000 points, you were considered a senior trainer. Right? That is something that you can do. It's a small little campaign that you can do with all your field trainers to say, hey, how many of you guys want to be a senior trainer? Right? And then here's the thing about campaigns. Whatever you come up with, there has to be benefits to that position. Right? So what are the benefits of me being a junior trainer? What are the benefits of me being a senior trainer? Sometimes we want to run campaigns and do things, but there's really not a significant benefit if I do it. And everything about human beings, what's interesting about us is we all operate off of two things, reward or punishment. Right? And you just have to make the reward something that people really actually want. So that could be something with field trainers, right? Let's just say you have Fast Start coming up, right? And we did a Fast Start today this morning, and we said, hey, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rent a little party bus, and we're gonna take the top 3 base shops that have the most qualifiers in Fast Start school. Maybe you don't rent a party bus, maybe you go out to lunch, maybe you do a dinner with your guys, right? I know after this, some of you guys are getting a chance to go spend time at the Gaetan residence, right? Who's going to that? Okay, all right, that's an innovative campaign, right? So Fast Start School for us, I said, hey, we're gonna take the top 3 people. Number 1 gets this to bring 4 people. Number 2 gets to bring 2 people, right? Number 3 gets the cups, right? And that is with my MDs. I have to have different levels of my business. So for me, I have MDs and then I have non-MDs. For you, if you have, let's say you have associates, let's say you have FAs, let's say you have directors, let's say you have MDs. Are you putting those people and ranking them in those different brackets and putting them to compete with each other? Right? Like, hey, here's our top 5 associates. Here's our top, or not associates, because that's kind of a small position, but here's our top 5 FAs, here's our top 5 directors. Right? You have to create a lot of subcategories as well when you have a team because not everybody's at the same position. When we do our Fast Start recognition, we put top 5 cash flow non-MD, top 5 cash flow MD, top 5 cash flow SMD, EMD, top 5 cash flow SVP and above. Right? There's different campaigns. Now, next innovative campaign. Let's say that you're starting off a month, and this is strategy. This is all strategy. Patrick does a lot of this. You guys do a lot of this as a hierarchy. You guys are phenomenal at this. But a lot of times you may be depending on your hierarchy to do something where you're not doing enough yourself. And you're relying on that. And I've seen that happen when there's a great leader. A lot of people like to lean on that person for whatever their campaign is. You need to have macro campaigns, big picture, micro campaign, small picture. So maybe TGA has a campaign, a next innovative campaign. You have to look at that and say, okay, who's going to qualify for TGA's campaign? Is it going to be everybody on your team? No. Right? So, is there something that the people on your team can do that's smaller that helps the people that can qualify for that campaign qualify for it? So maybe you're running a sub-contest within a contest based on activity, right? You guys are very quiet today, so you're laser focused. Okay, got it. All right. So we did something for the first 10 days of the month, and we said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Right? We don't have a campaign right now with PHP. Most people can't focus for a long term. So what you notice is that we'll run a lot of short-term blitzes. 1 week, 1 weekend, 3 days. The lower the promotion in the company that they have, they're not lower people, it's just their contract level is lower, maybe their commitment, their numbers, their performance is a little bit lower, not talking about people lower, but their contract level lower. The lower it is, the shorter time they can focus. The higher it is, the longer time they can focus, right? Most people, when you're trying to get a lot of people to do a little bit, it has to be a blitz. You have to have a short span, and then it's done, because that's all that most people can last. On the flip side of it, you always want to be training your team on endurance and talking about that. You want to train on endurance, you want to train on leadership fatigue, leadership endurance factor. You want to be talking about endurance, stamina, how long can you run, right? So going back to it, smaller numbers, right? Shorter time frame. And so what's your campaign leaving? Here's an example, next innovative campaign. What is your campaign leaving Vegas? Tell me what it is. Tell me what your campaign is. What day does our event end?
12.
The 12th. What's your campaign the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th? Thursday's the 12th, right?
Yeah.
Friday's the 13th, 14th. What day is 15th? Sunday, right?
Sunday.
What's your campaign? And by the way, I'm not here to just train to you guys and talk and leave and farewell, bye-bye. I really want to, let's process some of this stuff, because if this is when you should figure this thing out right now before you go to convention. Who wants to give me an idea on what your campaign is? What are you doing the 12th through the 15th? Who doesn't have one? Just by a show of hands, to be honest. It's a lot of people, right? Okay, so this is a mentality. You need to develop the identity to always have a next innovative campaign every single week, every single month, and you have to start looking at breaking down your business in weeks, in weekends, in bi-monthly, monthly, quarterly. You have to start looking at this. One day, right, let's just say 5 years from now, right, or whatever that time frame is, and some of the leaders in the company are not running a base shop at that moment. Are you going to slow down when they slow down?
No.
If you don't have an innovative campaign right now, then you're just, what is your focus right now? Let's work on this. This is good. What's your focus right now? Right? What's the most important focus right now? Director. Right? That's the most. Why? Because that's the what? Shortest deadline. Right? Then obviously, at the same time, you're running 2 campaigns in that area. You're running Next Innovative Campaign, and you're also running Butts and Seats. Do you have a Next Innovative Campaign for Butts and Seats? No? Why not? Why don't you say, hey guys, anybody has 5 butts in seats? You're going to be a part of an elite meeting in my room, in a corner, in anywhere. Doesn't matter. You don't even need to say the location. If you have 5 butts in seats, you're going to get a chance to have a one-on-one meeting with anybody. What is that? If you came to me and you're like, hey George, can you help my team? Can you speak to my guys for 2 minutes? Of course. Well, what do you need? And now you just have an innovative campaign where everybody's pushing to have 5. See, the big innovative campaign is what? Let's get 25, right? Let's get 25 butts in seats there. Let's get 50 butts in seats there. Well, how many people do I need to have 5 butts in seats to get 25 people on my team? 5. So again, what's the big goal? How do I have smaller goals? Because there's different levels. What if I have 10 people there on my team? What does your number 1 person that has the most people there get? Why is competition so important? Competition is what gets that person to do that extra little bit that doesn't make sense financially, but makes sense emotionally.
Yes.
Right? We were at our what event were we at right now? We were at Aruba. Okay. We were at Aruba. Oh man, Sheena pissed me off. She knows it. She knows it. By the way, she was our guest speaker. She was our guest speaker today. Her and Hart and Gaines were our guest speaker at Faster School today. So people are like, what are you talking about? I thought you guys were mad at each other. These guys are on their Dream Team to Beat call, and Patrick sends me a video, and Patrick's like, George, this is what you said to Gaitan. And Gaitan, what do you want to say to Palau? It's like 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. He's like, here you go, Palau, good morning. And it's just smack talking. And then I send them back a video, and they send me back a video. We share it with our whole team, right? Our whole team wants to kill everybody right now. So any smack, right? Any smack, I'm like, man, that's fuel. That's fuel, right? Competition's fuel for your business. When this thing's about, just how many prospects you get. Yeah, you got to do that because it's got to be business. That's how you make money for your family. But one of the things that you've seen that Patrick's done really well with the company, he's gamified the company. Gamification. That turns a meeting that's just for business into who's got the most associates, who's sitting in the front. Anybody with this sits in the, and all of a sudden that little competition just made this a little bit more funner. Adults are big kids. So if you can learn to trigger that part, that's important, right? So what's your number? What do people that have 10 people do? What's the benefit of me having 10 people at the big event? That's the next innovative campaign. They're smaller, they're not bigger, right? But what do you need at your level today? Right? What's your number one person gonna get? What is that? By the way, this is also how you lead your family. Right? So a lot of people think, well, this is just business. No, the standards that you have in your personal life on how you treat your health, or the standards that you have with how you raise your kids, or the standards that you have in business, or the standards that you have in any other area of your life, I promise you are bleeding into other areas of your life. That's why we want you to elevate in every area. Okay, so an innovative campaign. Let's strategize. What could be a campaign I do leading the 12th?
Based on who purchased 10 packs and who purchased a 4-pack, because you're going to have that in your breakout, so there should be an incentive.
So what's the benefit I get if I buy a 10-pack or a 4-pack?
I'm assuming that you could find a benefit.
What is your benefit?
We haven't figured that out yet, but we will.
Have you spent time thinking about it or not yet?
Well, we've thought about it. We just don't know what would be a measured reward, I guess, would be the best way to say it.
Okay. All right. What would your people be excited about?
Well, a lot of them are going to big event for the first time. We were thinking about the wineries down in Ensenada. We just don't know how that would really work. We haven't done the logistics, but that's what we're thinking.
Got it. So if they purchase a certain amount of yeah, I'm going to join your team. Okay? You're going to go to Ensenada Wineries, baby. We're going. So that's a little bit bigger for buying a 4-pack or a 10-pack. I don't know that would be mine for that, right? But what if there was like a limited shirt and you had all the VCs in the company sign that shirt and there was only 5 of them?
Yes.
And your top 5 people got a what do you call it? Once in a lifetime? Forever that won't be done, and it's signed by all VCs, but it's only for the top 5 people, or it's only for the first 5 people that buy a 10-pack. Right? That's a simple campaign to run. You know what it takes? You to design a shirt, take a Sharpie, walk up to everybody, and say, hey, this will be framed. Whoever's getting these, there's 5 of them. The greatest show of PHP, when PHP changed the industry, this was the shirt. And you will always have that in your career. That's a big deal, right? So that's a simple campaign that you can run, right? Hey, my top 3 people are getting on a dinner. Anybody that's over 25 people. So again, you guys get the point. There's levels to this,
yeah.
And whatever you're promoting, if you're driving attendance, if you're driving closeout, if you're driving the first person that hits director, right? The first person does this. We do raffles right now in our base, where everybody that does a recruit and everybody that does, I think it's 500 points or 1,000 points, gets into a raffle, and then every single week we pull a raffle where it's money that they get for Vegas expenses. That's a simple little campaign. In a military campaign, there's a lot of small campaigns. So for you, start getting better at these areas. Okay? All right, let's go next here. Okay. Can I see your notebook real quick?
Pages don't match up.
Oh, it's okay. No, it's okay. All right. Did you guys go to? Did somebody already cover the other 3 of the next innovative campaign? Yes.
No.
Yes.